And I'm ready to rumble. That is right. This is going to be, well, tonight I've got not one, but two guests I'm going to bring in very, very shortly. But let's do this first. I am the number one heel, the one and only deal maker, money maker, and Hall of Famer. You know who I am? The man, Ricky Goldman. And you can, very quickly, let's do this. Add me on Facebook, Ricky J. Pate. From me on Twitter, Rick the Rock 30. Go and view and like. Give me 1 second here. WWA World Wrestling Alliance on Facebook. And last but certainly not least, to get all 3 designs of my t-shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees, this is where you find them. Let's get on with this. Right there. And last but not least, never forget, making this very quick, to get 2 shout outs. Very easy, very simple. You like and subscribe. So this is going to be the 2021. Hang on. Give me 1 second there. Sorry, guys. Oh, there we go. The 2020 version Royal Rumble predictions. So I'll press the wrong button there. Sorry about that. So I'm going to bring in my guest right now. So who should we bring in first? 2 guys who've joined me before. So I'm going to bring in the one, the only, none other than he is the Holiday, Christopher Mace. How are you tonight, Christopher?
Oh, doing good, man. Like I said, did talk about the Royal Rumble a little bit the other day on my channel. So since I told you I'd be on the show today, we discussed a little bit further about the Royal Rumbles. My second favorite event, right up there, right near War Games. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of War Games and the Royal Rumble, so I'm ready to talk some Royal Rumble here today.
And thank you for the shout out. And I'm going to bring back the second guest. We've got 3 tonight, and he is the one, the only, Billy Ray Dog. Oh, and he'll turn his Billy Ray Dog, turn it to John Cena here.
What?
Yes.
And how are you tonight, Billy?
Doing pretty good, pretty good. Love the Royal Rumble.
Good.
One of the best matches of the year.
Okay, well, first things first, I do want to say this is going to be a very underwhelming Royal Rumble in the Thunderdome. Very quickly, I want to just quickly get this out of the way. All wrestling needs fans, but the Royal Rumble needs fans for the countdown, for the anticipation. Ugh. So let's get that out of the way first. For me, it doesn't feel like the road to WrestleMania in 2 days' time. It just feels like a bit of a letdown. What do you guys think, first of all?
Like I said, Royal Rumble is going to be interesting. Say it's different because it's not going to be in front of a crowd. So I think that's going to take. It might hurt it a little bit because it's not in front of a crowd. But however, they're doing still what they got to do, trying to make it happen. So we're going to see how it play out, what they can do a little bit differently. They have surprised us doing things in the past differently because we've had no crowd. So let's see if we can do it again.
Sorry, give me 1 second here. Let's fix my camera. There we go. Billy, very quickly, what do you think? You're looking forward to the Rumble? I'm not. Anyway, are you looking forward to it?
I'm definitely looking forward to it because I want to see what crowd things they put in to make it better. They're going to put in some of that sounds.
Sorry, my camera again. Jesus, I should be more prepared.
Is Retribution getting to your camera again?
Yeah, it's Retribution again. And first of all, I don't recommend driving while you're on StreamYard. Anyway, let's get on with this. We will start with the kickoff show. Now, as of late, right now, no match has been made for the kickoff show, but I think these two will be. So we'll start with again. I'm gonna hold my phone with this match. Lashley versus Riddle for the US Championship. So we'll go to Chris first. Who do you see walking out the US champion?
Lashley retains. Riddle, they haven't really built Riddle up. If they had built Riddle up like they had in NXT and they coming in there and been on a warpath, I would have easily could have said Riddle. But what they've done, they haven't done really much of nothing with him. You know, you try to have him tag with Jeff Hardy here and there and all this other stuff and more the comedy route. I'd say Lashley retains easily.
Okay, and Billy?
I want Matt Riddle to win, but it's obvious he's not because they're looking to more of a tag team route with them at the moment. So it's going to be basically, it's not going to be a squash. It's going to be a hard-hitting fight, but Lashley's retaining.
Okay. Very quick rant. Lashley's been on the tear. Lashley's been the best thing on Raw. Hurt Business is one of the best things on Raw. But now we have to believe that Riddle can win. He went all the way through Hurt Business on Raw. I think he's winning here, which makes Hurt Business look weak. But why would he give Riddle another title shot unless he's winning twice in a newest title? It would be great for Riddle, but it is what it is. Next up, another match. I think this is the kickoff show for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. Charlotte and Asuka defend against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, the former champions. Billy, we'll start with you first. Who do you see walking out champions?
I'm going to see Shayna and Nia Jax get it because I see Charlotte either turning on Asuka or something because Asuka needs to defend her title. They got to get rid of the women's tag teams off her first.
Fair enough. Chris, who do you think is walking out champions?
Baszler and Nia Jax are going to become the new two-time women tag champions because of the fact you got Charlotte didn't need the tag title. The only reason she has the tag title is because of the fact that it made her a fourth woman Grand Slam winner, which I digress. She should have been considered the first one. She held the Divas Championship first. But Asuka needs somebody to feud with. And if you're going to possibly set up a match, you could easily set up a match with Charlotte and Asuka for the title. There's a lot of different scenarios, which talk more about here with the Women's Royal Rumble match here in a little bit. They could go and see how it plays out.
Okay. I see the champions retaining. I think it's way too soon for them to lose. That's what I'm going to say, really. Again, this match is thrown together. The champions retain. So we'll get into the actual card. This match should be good, but let's see. For the Smackdown Women's title, that's a lot of noise. Sasha Banks defends against Carmella. I'm going to pick this one up first. Both put on a good match at TLC. Carmella did really, really good. But why is she getting another title shot? She lost. I see Sasha Banks retaining to the big star Vince will want it for Mania. There you go. So, Chris, what do you think?
Sasha's retaining the title. I mean, Carmella's not going in as Women's Smackdown champion at WrestleMania. Sasha's retaining. They got bigger and better plans for her for WrestleMania.
Okay, and Billy, what do you think?
I think, definitely Sasha's retaining because they have a great opponent for her at WrestleMania that's rumored. I just don't know, can't remember the name on top of my head. Carmella doesn't feel like a champion yet. All she feels like is some Eva Marie / Emelina ripoff.
Give me 1 second here just to sort my camera out. I'll do it with that. There we go. That should do it. If I put it there, that'll stop falling over. Okay, so yeah, you said Sasha Banks. Okay, then. So let's get into one of the big matches. Fantastic, this match. Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. Billy, who do you see walking out champion?
I see Drew McIntyre. If Goldberg walks out champion, I'm driving down to Florida to kick his ass.
Okay. Fair enough. Chris, do you see Goldberg or Drew McIntyre? Who's walking out champion?
This one's aggravating me because unfortunately I see Goldberg maybe probably winning this title just because that. Look what they've done with this pattern. Okay, he challenges for title, he wins it. Challenges again. He beat people he shouldn't have beat. He beat the Fiend at Super Showdown. He shouldn't have beat for the title because they could set up a bigger match. They only bring in Goldberg in here to set up some kind of a bigger match up here. What does that mean for Drew with WrestleMania? I don't know yet, unless Drew, which I'll explain that more when I get to the Men's Royal Rumble. But Goldberg, I see, could easily win this matchup because that's what they seem they're setting up for, is for Goldberg to be WWE champion going into WrestleMania. They've done this pattern before. I think they're going to do this pattern again because they're relying too much on the old veterans to lead the charge instead of trusting their current stars to lead the way into the future.
I half agree and I don't agree. Goldberg's rumored for Mania. So I'm guessing he's going in as champion. This is WWE after all. This match is going to last real long. It's going to be spear, jackhammer, probably over. Goldberg winning. Let's hope not. Drew wins. He's beaten a Hall of Famer. And I have read it's a one and done deal. Therefore, walking out WWE champion has got to be, please, Drew McIntyre. But so at the same time, it wouldn't shock me if Goldberg wins, but I'm saying Drew to retain. This one should be a good one. Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, last man standing for the Universal Championship. We'll start with you first, Chris. Reigns or Owens?
Reigns is retaining. Like I said, he's the hottest act on SmackDown right now. He's probably right up there as the hottest act in WWE right now. That's helping them stay with the ratings, especially on SmackDown, how they're dominating the ratings compared to Monday Night Raw with him as the tribal chief right now. They've had 2 matches already. Like I said, the whole storyline is Owens has almost had him beat, and then Jey Uso comes out and interferes. Almost had him beat, he gets
Billy, mute yourself for a moment. I'll mute Billy. I've muted you, Billy. Right. Sorry, Chris. Can you finish what you're saying, please?
Like I said, last man standing match. Like I said, Roman Reigns is going to retain, whether he has help from Jey Uso or he has help from returning Jimmy Uso and reunite the Usos, because Jimmy's been out with an injury and he should be about ready for him time to come back. So maybe it takes 3 of them to put him down. Maybe Adam Pearce gets involved because, they have him in the storyline as well. Either way, Roman Reigns is retaining the Universal Championship. He's not losing it anytime soon.
Okay, I'm letting Billy go last. I don't know if they want me not any noise, so I'm going to go next. Owens is great. Fantastic getting his title shot. This is rumored to be the main event. I think it should be the men's rumble. It is what it is. TLC was fantastic. The steel cage match was good, but he's lost twice. Why is he getting another title shot? Because they have nobody else, I guess. But this should be good. But Reigns retains. I can see Reigns being champion way past Mania. So I'll unmute you, Billy. Here we go. All right, so Billy, Reigns or Owens?
It's going to be Roman Reigns, and there will be interference from the Usos, if not both of them, at least one of them. And I see Adam Pearce coming out telling Uso, if you interfere again, you're fired, type of thing. And I see it main eventing because in case they run long on the Royal Rumble, that's why I see this match being the main event.
I think it should be the men's Rumble, but there you go. So let's get to the final 2 matches. We'll start with the match that's easier to predict than the men's. Women's Royal Rumble. Billy, you go first. Who do you see? Any surprises, any shocks, and who do you see winning this? Billy.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. I want Rhea Ripley to win. Come out of nowhere, debut to the main roster, and just destroy everyone. But if Shayna loses, I see Shayna Baszler picking up the win.
Okay, and do you see any surprise returns?
Returns, I see this Murray back.
He's turning into a robot.
Return, okay. And I see.
Yep. You turned into a robot, so quickly say that again, please. Who do you see returning? Come on. Oh, God, right. He's totally gone out now. Let's wait for him to come back then. So I'm going to take it next and be as quick as I can. So he's totally gone out. So he rejoins. Guessing his Wi-Fi was driving. Anyway, few dark horses. I see Bayley winning. She said on the Stone Cold podcast she's never won a Rumble. Alexa Bliss asked her at Mania. Bliss takes the title. There's a payoff for this Fiend thing. And Shayna Baszler. Baszler takes the title at Mania. But my pick for the Royal Rumble is the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair. So, Chris, who do you think is going to win?
Oh, Lord. Like I said, you have too many scenarios you could do. I know in my video I said my primary, I could see Charlotte becoming a 2-time Royal Rumble winner because she'd feud with Asuka at WrestleMania. And I said Alexa because she could feud with Asuka for the Raw Women's title. I mean, that's why both my picks I went with, but you could also see Bianca Belair winning and challenging Sasha. You could see Bayley winning and challenging Sasha, maybe in a 30-minute women's Iron Man rematch from NXT at WrestleMania and do that and culminate that feud. But you could also have surprise returns, like Becky Lynch is due to be back anytime now. You can see Becky Lynch. If she shows up at the Rumble, that's going to change the whole dynamic of what they plan for WrestleMania. If somebody like a Ronda Rousey, who's been trolling and teasing everybody, was she really teasing us or is she really trolling us? She shows up at the Royal Rumble, that's a different ball game too. It's just Women's Rumble is a little bit interesting because you don't know. They had, last time I checked, when I recorded, there was only 12 entrants announced for the Women's Royal Rumble, which is a big difference from 4 last year they announced. So, I mean, it could be anybody's ball game at this point, but that's what I went with was Charlotte to win and Alexa Bliss to win. Either one of them two is what I picked for my primary and secondary.
I do see the women that are on Legends Raw, and they'll be, oh, look who it is. Fantastic. We saw them on 4 weeks ago on Legends Raw. So you're picking Bianca Belair, yes? No? Sorry.
No, I'm going with Charlotte as my primary, and I'm going with Alexa as my secondary pick. That's what I picked in my predictions. But also, you got to think 2 women that are also free agents. Actually, there's 3 that could possibly show up. You got Melina, who was in NWA, that could possibly show up. You have Taya Valkyrie, who just left Impact Wrestling. Decorated women's champion could make an appearance at the Royal Rumble. And I just went brain dead on the third one, but he'll come back to me 5 minutes after we're done recording when we talk about this after.
Don't know if Billy's coming back. If he comes back, he comes back.
Tessa Blanchard could possibly show up because there's been rumors that WWE's interested in bringing her in. She's been gone since she got stripped of the Impact World Heavyweight Championship and hasn't come back since. So that's a possibility as well. She could show up. That's why they maybe only have 12 women announced so far.
Right, here he is. So very quickly, Billy, let's not hope you turn into a robot. Who did you say the surprise returns will be?
The surprise returns, I see Eva Marie. I see one of the Bella Twins.
The retired. They just had a baby. Anyway, go on.
And I see Becky Lynch coming back. Becky Lynch.
Possibly, but again, she's just had a baby, so who knows? So let's go with the final match, and this is, I think, for me, this is hard to predict. The men's Royal Rumble match. So, Chris, I'll let you. Do you want to go first on this?
Good Lord, a men's Royal Rumble match could be interesting as well. Oh Lord, my primary pick I picked was Daniel Bryan because I think the story they're telling here is that he's never won a Royal Rumble. He'll go on to face Roman Reigns. I know my secondary I picked was somebody who hasn't been back since WrestleMania is Brock Lesnar showing up and making a surprise appearance and trying to win the Royal Rumble to get his rematch for either one of the titles. Because what a story you could tell there with Lesnar and of Roman Reigns there, because Paul Heyman's with the tribal chief. Lesnar's like, what are you doing here? What is this, man? I beat this guy over and over and over again, destroyed him. Why are you with him now? There's a lot of story they could tell with that. So that's why I went with Lesnar as my primary to show up. Like I said, Seth Rollins can make a surprise appearance. He's been gone. He's due to be back anytime now. Who else? Like I said, there's a lot of scenarios they could go with, but those are ones that I said my surprise me if you think about it could be The Rock. And the reason I use the logic with The Rock, yes, he does movies, yes, he has insurance policy, everything like that, but if you're going to build, and they're talking about him and Roman Reigns together, Twitter, different areas, talking about he wants to have a match with Roman Reigns. He wants to have a match with Roman Reigns. So we're like the same scenario with Batista years ago going, I want to retire facing Triple H. I want to retire facing Triple H. Well, that happened. Rock's 48 years old. Yes, I know we're going to say Goldberg's over the age of 50 and blah, blah, blah. He's still wrestling. Yes, I understand that. Rock could perform a better match than Goldberg can, first off. Second off, if Rock, this would be the perfect time. Rock's from Miami. He lives in the Florida area just like I do. It would make sense to do it this year. You're finally going to have a crowd back, some crowd capacity at WrestleMania. You need to have a big marquee matchup. If you do The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, that's going to be a big marquee matchup for the first time, really having fans back in the building. The Super Bowl of wrestling is WrestleMania. It always has been. It's been that way. We're going on 37 years of WrestleMania. What marquee matchup could you do? Big time matchup. You could do The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Not saying he will lose. I'm not saying that The Rock's going to win for the title. I'm just saying they could do that marquee matchup. There's a story there. Him saying he's the tribal chief, and Rock saying, I did this way before you, buddy. What are you talking about? You the tribal chief. I'm the head of the table for you.
Yeah. I think Rock, who knows, but I think he returns in front of a crowd rather than virtual fans, but who knows. So I'll go next, and hopefully Billy can be past traffic or whatever. AJ Styles, dark horse. He's been on a fantastic push, fantastic role. He could win it. Keith Lee, for people saying Keith Lee, I think it's way too soon. Lashley is a dark horse. So, as I said earlier, he's been on a roll. Lashley could do it. But the two people I'm going to pick is, well, I'm going to agree with Chris. Daniel Bryan to win it. Daniel Bryan reigns at Mania. Is it a big match? No, it isn't. But I think this Mania is going to be like last year's Mania. A lot of matches are thrown together. And yes, my second pick is going to be the same. Brock Lesnar, because Vince wants all the big stars. Lesnar's a big star. And that was rumored last year to do the same match this year. So I wouldn't shock me if Lesnar wins, but I'm going to pick Daniel Bryan. So 1 second, Billy. There we go. So who do you see within the Royal Rumble? Men's Rumble?
I agree with all y'all. I see Daniel Bryan winning, but I do not see Brock Lesnar winning because he's not signed a new contract. His contract is expired. He has not signed because Paul Heyman said he's not signed, and there's no rumors that he signed a new contract because there's rumors that he was retiring. And the second person I see winning is either Keith Lee or Drew McIntyre if he loses. Drew McIntyre if he loses just to go after Goldberg to get his title back.
Very quickly, Keith Lee, way too soon. something I heard on Facebook from one of these Facebook pages I watch. Very quickly, Goldberg wins, faces whoever at Mania. Drew wins the Rumble, but goes after Reigns because that's the rumored main event for Mania. Drew Reigns again. So how did they get to that? So you have very quickly, you have next night on Raw, Drew goes after Goldberg. You think, oh, he's going to pick him. Same the week after, and then he goes to SmackDown and picks Reigns. They can really do anything in the Thunderdome. Can have Hornswoggle win it. Can do anything really. Cena's rumored. I think it's Reigns a big star and Cena's it. Maybe Cena. Do you guys see Cena winning it?
It could be possible if you do Cena. If Cena comes back, he ends up winning it. He would tie the record with Austin for the most Royal Rumble wins. Then he could go on and try to face Roman and say, "Hey, look, or I lost to you once. I think I can beat you again. I got one more title run left in me. You were calling yourself the Tribal Chief." And you saw their promo battles in the past. John Cena owns him on the mic. He owns anybody on the mic. He can do that. But see, what nobody's really talking about either besides then is we ain't seen The Fiend since TLC. What's The Fiend's role going to be in? He's just going to come in there, pop up with a new mask, new look, take out Randy Orton, because Randy Orton's in that Rumble too. There's going to be somewhere interaction. They have this rumor that this is going to be some more horrifying scene you see at the Royal Rumble. What's that supposed to mean? Are we going to do some shenanigans at the Royal Rumble? Like I said, Royal Rumble, I love the Royal Rumble match concept. We don't need a bunch of shenanigans in it.
Couple of things. You could have Cena in the Rumble, not win it, and Reigns still challenging Cena. And I wouldn't have Fiend return at the Rumble. I'd have him, his music player, Alexa Bliss comes out, Randy Orton gets eliminated. You have Fiend return at Elimination Chamber or even Fastlane. Be off TV as much as possible because the guy got burnt anyway. We'll have to wait and see. Apparently, he's coming back with like a devil mask. Let's wait and see. So that's it. That's our predictions.
Hey, no one's going to talk about WWE promoting CM Punk's logo on the Royal Rumble on Twitter. Yes, they did.
They did.
Okay, so maybe he returns, possibly. I don't know. This is 2021. It's going to be the Thunderdome. They could do whatever, but do you see him returning?
Yes, I do, because he said multiple times that he's ready to come back to wrestle. He's already agreed to 2K that if they sign him, he'll go back in the game.
I think they should scrap the 2K games. Very quickly, I'll take 10 seconds to say this, but the Battleground game they came out with, things like that, the 2K 22. Only difference is better graphics. Anyway, do you see Punk returning, Chris?
You know, it's one of those things you cry wolf so many times and you could tease it possibly so many times and not deliver. I mean, is it possible? Yes, anything's possible in wrestling. Anybody can return anytime. You would have said a Ultimate Warrior would have never returned, and he did. You could have said a lot of guys would have never returned, and they did. I'll say that they say never. I can agree with that because things will surprise me. If CM Punk returns, that's going to change the whole interesting dynamic going into the Royal Rumbles after Royal Rumble and Ben as well. But like I said, you need to have a big marquee matchups. And if you're not, and like I said earlier with me pitching an idea about The Rock doing it this year, well, you can't get The Rock because of movie contracts and you got a deal for CM Punk to come in. You have an option there with CM Punk. He's still a big enough name. We're still talking about CM Punk. And it's been years since he's been back. Since what? Royal Rumble 2000, what was it, 14? Or no, it was 15, wasn't it?
Actually, in the ring, it was WrestleMania 30 to 14. He came back on backstage, but actually in the ring, Royal Rumble 2014.
Yeah, because he didn't show up because I was there at WrestleMania and everybody thought he was going to show up at WrestleMania and he didn't. You're right, it was 14. So, like I said, I mean, it could possibly happen. Will it? We'll have to wait and see Sunday. That's why I'm saying the men's and women's Royal Rumble, you have so many options. There's so many free agents out there in wrestling right now that are big names for both and big stars. And we're not even talking about possibility of Edge winning either. Is that what they're going to do? They're going to get away with the Randy Orton feud, have Edge win? What if Edge wins and he wants to go after whoever the champion is, and he says, you know what, I never lost my last title. I had to surrender it. I had to give it up because I had to retire. Now I want to have one more run. I want to go out my own way. Doesn't mean he has to win at WrestleMania.
Very quickly about Edge, I had him as a surprise entrant. And I think very quickly, the two people I see returning, Rollins as face and Strowman, I think, returns.
Yeah.
Do you guys? Yeah, I think those two. So I'll mute you first, Chris, and then I'm going to let Billy promote himself. Just give me one. Let me. There we go. Right, go on, Billy.
Hey guys, don't forget to go check out Pro Wrestling Tees and search Billy Ray Dog. And don't me and Goldman both have Pro Wrestling Tees. Check us both out. Goldman's and at Billy Ray Dog. Don't forget to go to Twitter, Red Billy Dog F9, and don't forget to check out my YouTube channel, Red Billy Dog F8.
And your Facebook.
Facebook, Billy Ray Dog for my Facebook.
Yes, go and check all those out. Certainly, Pro Wrestling Tees. I bought a couple of his t-shirts. Yeah, I'll take you 1 second. Mute you. Mute you or mute Chris. Right, do you want to promote yourself, Chris?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube on the Holiday of Christopher Mace. You can find me on Facebook at Christopher Mace. I did away with Twitter, so I'm not worried about that at the moment. If you want to catch up on Royal Rumble history, I have on my YouTube channel, Royal Rumble history of the Royal Rumble on there. It was Holiday Break episode 23. It's on my Facebook page if you want to check it out. You have great Facebook groups you can go support. You have Team WWE that Mark Reviews runs, Mark Griffith. You have different Team All Elite, Team Impact, Team New Japan. You have a lot of great Facebook wrestling groups you can check out, be a part of. You can check out this man's channel. He may be controversial sometimes. He may be outspoken, but he speaks from the heart. He speaks with his passion on emotions on the sleeve. He's going to shoot it like it is. Some people like it. Some people don't. It is what it is. And, you know, he's a good guy all around. Like I said, me and him have had prediction battles before. We've had words and everything and promo battles, stuff like that. So it's all fun with this man. Like I said, it'll be a second year. We've actually gone up against each other with Royal Rumble. Let's see who's right on it this time around, and we'll go from there. So, like I said, support this guy. Support everybody, all wrestling channels, big and small. Like I said, just let's all take care and stay safe during this time.
Okay, I'll just mute you for a second. Actually, I'm going to take you both out. Stay backstage just for a second. So yeah, go and check out Christopher Mace, Holiday Christopher Mace, Team WWE on Facebook. I'm in that. Lots of WWE chats. Also, Team All Elite. If you're an AEW fan, I watch the pay-per-views, and I'll be looking for Chris and Billy, if you can, to join me for the Revolution predictions and review. I think that's a big pay-per-view for AEW. Like and subscribe. Hope you enjoy the Royal Rumble. For me, it's gonna be very Reigns, Owens, I think will be good. Apart from that, it is what it is. And that's it. Number one heel, Ricky Goldman, out.